Memo watching na memo akwa ba mfamra Adom TV and I ne yede na watch Jumadi de bro se ne yesi ye no memene da anapabia no from Brayabo Nnawotwe kopem no ndu no ye betena ha ne yetumi adwendwen o man Ghana ho ne nsema yesi e wo Nnawotwe we emu na onim se one major issue aba with Afrobarometer for more research or more ye any senior and some efumoba how Ghana for fees and yoma ayedene democracy in the crown yes and yes etie unim se fetch so the omode bet person fetch the NHS say 2024 election no omode almost say will so the governing NPP ebe lusu to the NDC because omo use so well and well there's a there where they basi entine there fetch for e kan e ba be hwe nsunsu anso ben na nsem we mienu we na research mienu we ewo on the election 2024 now onim Yasaka, one of the leading forecasters in this country. Say about say any research na focus on elections. Dr. Musa Danko Abekansa ha ye be din komo again. Ye bisa say ana aban air frustrated OSP ana and also idea ebe analyze ora the former Auditor General Daniel Yao Domilevo nsama o kan na watwe we mu say o say president no to me no protected OSP no from the appointees. You be share near the enkomo ewo ha. Dr. Banasco and Samba Cancer, member MPP's National Communications Team, and Richard Manurube, or a member of the NDC's National Communications Team. Your friend Samuel Kojo Brace. I'm just a voice. I'm representing a team on Bomodin Shisha. So on behalf of that team, the camera, the sound, and the piano, me director ina me mawa kwaba edoba Nnawotwe Yi. So if you are trying to ewa sempa 94.7 FM, ekwia boachiwa yadom abohomodin ya di adwuma na pe kama yebada na se ene na adwuma yefo nya na omo ne omo ye adwuma ni nyina no na membre na fe de yenhye adwuma de ase ewo ha na mom metwa me ho tew na maba meba mema ora Musa Danko akwaba ne etumi de nkomo hyehye no ye nkomo twetwe no etumi de ahye ase nti oni ma wafide ne da ha memfansa ko afide ye ba isia memo akwaba bio enfambra Nnawotwe Yi so me nawase se wode wafide na to ha na pese yensu yentumi mra ne ye no mbedi nkomo ba bia wo bia se wo takwa wo bompie so wo wase kropon lubo bebia boga yesi akwaba to Nnawotwe Yi so Adom TV any asempa well Ora Musa Danko Executive Director for Global Info Analytics. Over, good morning.
Good morning.
Biaboko. Well, you share the Afrobarometer and the fitch for Omwejuma Omoye. Now, if so called Afrobarometer no more, me perceive the summaries on we near to me at ye, no to me aboy me to me na ya capture new mano. Now, if you look at the summary on Ghana Mpoa, or say views on democratic norms and practices. Inti Osho Mom so prioritize accountable over efficient government, 78%. Support presidential term limit, 76%. Media should be free from government control, 74%. Almost support a multi-party competition, 72%. Armed forces should never intervene in politics, 55%. And just a lot of people don't want the military to intervene, right?
No, but if you look at that number, it's worrying.
Okay.
Other numbers in the 70s.
Yeah.
This one, 50s.
Okay.
I mean, there's a big chunk of people, are amiable to military intervention. That's what we need to know.
45%.
That is dangerous.
Why dangerous? Still, you have 55% majority.
You see, when we lose confidence in democracy, people look at the other alternatives.
And think of where lose confidence in democracy.
That is what it implies.
Okay.
That's what it implies. Okay, in fact, time the junta took power in Niger, yes, pulled the global info. And almost majority of them were supporting the military intervention in those places. In
majority of Ghana for no.
Yes, Ghana for interview. They were support of that military intervention and against ECOWAS intervention to restore democracy.
Okay.
at the time. So the sign was there, the warning signs were there. We just ignored it.
But because, and according to research, you know, as the younger people, and I'll get that data as well. But is it because Nkofo experience a military regime that, and that's what Mufi say, well, it should be okay?
I think so. They've never experienced military regimes before, so they don't know what the military regime offers in terms of curtailment of their freedom and movement. So much and probably they will not be saying that. But also it shows they have lost confidence in the leadership of the political class as youth, because they haven't seen their issues addressing. We have left the issue for the youth for themselves, and that is worrying. If you have unemployment, the youth are bearing, bearing the brunt of it. So they look for anything that they may see as heaven on this earth.
Okay, but shouldn't past guide our desires? Say, yenya a lot of military interventions in Ghana over the past years, but we are still where we are. So really, military
you know, they are having to do comparative analysis. There are videos on social media.
So okay,
your videos on social media. Actually, they see what Burkina Faso in terms of what the young guy is doing there.
Okay.
The Oman who they see 79, a story that we're told.
Okay.
Now they are seeing a lot of images coming from somewhere where say a buying penny for no Oman to buying cars on tractors.
Okay.
So those kind of things are what is feeding into the minds of young boys. No, say it's a buying people who are on top buying big cars. Or the kind of tractors and my farmers there, and that government is military. Then it means they are better than what we are doing here. So more compare what they are seeing here and on social media, and that's the power of the tool of social media influence.
Okay. So it's a social media, no?
Absolutely.
And I'm towards
absolutely
that
absolutely.
Well, if you look at the survey, so BBI bleak,
no, I don't think so. It's not bleak. Bleak, sir. I think maybe as a country, no, we are in difficult times, yes, but we cannot say we are at the point of no return. No.
Okay.
It's not that desperate in terms of our governance structure. Even though we've slipped, almost say when it comes to our governance, we have slipped behind many other African countries, which is something that we should be taking note of.
In terms of your governance,
democratic credentials.
So for example, prefer democracy over any other kind of government. If you look at it, Angola at 47, Benin at 79, Botswana at 75, Burkina Faso at 55%, Cabo Verde 84%. So they prefer democracy to any government.
Yes.
Cameroon 55%. So
the story
in the okay. Congo Brazzaville 70%. Cote d'Ivoire 70%. Really? But okay, so it's still high, right?
Yes.
70% is still high.
What about Ghana?
Okay. Ghana 76%.
So it's still not, we believe in democracy.
Yeah.
Okay, Cameroon is low because for the past 30 years or more, they've known one president.
Okay.
So they don't know democracy. They haven't failed, they have almost failed. So places where they have failed democracy, they want to sustain that. But they are comparing themselves to other countries which are not properly democratic.
Okay.
And then say, okay, I think we prefer this one than what is currently happening now. Cameroon is democracy in quote, but the elections are always won by Paul Biya, and it's one way.
Okay. But if you look at some more indicators of commitment to democracy now, where Ghana, where 76% of us prefer democracy, no? Reject military rule, no?
55.
67% reject military rule. 67%. How do we? You better yet we adjust the deposit to the 55% now.
No, you see,
Okay, the 55% so omumpe military intervention.
Yes.
And then 67 says we reject military rule.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, almost share. There are people they prefer democracy, but there are certain circumstances that those people because say we prefer it, but we dear tofiakwa. So and just one-sided thinking of people say, or hunting, he can't think otherwise. We prefer this one, but maybe in this present circumstance, I would prefer takeover of military than to endure what I currently have.
But on our research, how do we have armed forces should never intervene in politics? 55%. And then in the same research, we have reject military rule, 67%. I want to be sure I get it. Yeah, 67%. I mean,
you know, sometimes what we call cross tabulation and triangulation. Say what they told you from the beginning.
Okay.
Then you put another question in a different way, but trying to get the same response.
Okay.
Then sometimes you see how people behave. Maybe sometimes it depends on what questions follow the first one. Sometimes no can be about democracy or military. That in the end may influence the person when it comes to the next question. They say, I prefer this.
Okay.
Because almost be as a researcher, or maybe some first question be without telling you any on can be and faster issue.
That's all my background.
All my background. Now if you be a question be a background, be 5 or 6 questions be. No, I repeat the same question in or you say, or can't wait chile one why drink now. So we need to see the entire questionnaire in full picture to see say were there's other questions that really led the people to really change their mind following hearing what they heard.
Okay. Okay. So that is why there could be that.
Yes.
Even though they're around the same
absolutely
theme, but able to me
because of what they may have heard before that.
Okay, interesting. Are we alarmed or should we be alarmed? Okay?
It's worrying but not alarmed.
Okay. Okay, interesting. How do you say it is worrying but not alarmed?
Alarm is when the threshold gets to a particular point. If you have most people saying say they prefer, then you have a problem.
Okay. Okay. Armed forces the end so 55% say armed forces may interfere. Now 74% say media should be free of government control. 74%. So Ghana for the donor believe was say government in but in the same report they say the president has become high-handed. They call it high-handed.
So what's the difference? No, they prefer the media to be free.
Yeah.
But what they are seeing now, are they seeing they have freedom? You don't expect the same response.
Okay.
Abanyin in same free media issues mo. But when you ask them whether the government has hand in the media, depending on what they see or think, they may give a different response.
Okay.
This one reflects their actual sentiment and aspirations.
Okay. Okay. Now, when it came to the question, Mbisa said country is for democracy, and a democracy with minor problems. Ghana for 61%, and I said that's how it here. So Ghana is for democracy. I thought that it should have been 100%.
But democracy is not just about going to elect people. There are a series of things that make the whole democracy a package, including election processes, resource declaration, military not going into any electoral polling station to create any mayhem. So it's a package. Once you have the elections being held, but people coming to intervene and create problems, then it's no longer a perfect democracy. You can't get 100%. And where you have money used to influence outcome of election, that's not democracy. So that's why you have that kind of lower number.
There's something even more. I'll say fairly or very satisfied with democracy. Ghana just 51%.
And that is the most troubling part.
And then again, most recent, national elections was completely free and fair. And Ghana, we have 64%. Officials who commit crimes rarely or never go unpunished. Ghana, it is 22%.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Obia nimse kurumuha. Oyo openi ana politician na udi bonia
No, but that's just 22% of Ghana.
No. Read the question again.
I'll say officials who commit crimes. Rarely.
We don't punish them.
Go
do you agree?
Unpunished.
Yes. It means, do you agree with that? They say, I'm saying yes. That's what it means. They are confirming, say. They are saying, say. Only 22%.
And I just say,
yes. No, rarely punished.
Yeah, rarely. Unpunished.
Okay.
Rarely.
Really?
Or never go unpunished.
Never go unpunished.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, never go unpunished. As
a negative and negative together.
Yeah.
So it means they're not punished.
Yes. Okay. Okay, they are not punished.
They are not punished.
22% believes maso.
What about the other side? Is there any?
Okay. I'll say ordinary people who commit crimes rarely or never go unpunished. Ghana, 74%.
Yes. It simply means that we are ordinary person is so good. But we a big man. They let you go.
And 22% feel say yamo moko. And one from dodo.
You see, if you look at, I don't know how the question was structured, whether it was in the same question and answer different question. If it's about the same people you're asking and they're making a choice, then you want to know whether it was a multiple question choice or just a single answer you want to give. But this shows most people are saying the big men are allowed to go scot-free.
Okay.
Invariably, the small men are punished. So if the small men are being punished at high proportion here, it means that if you turn the question and ask them whether the big men are allowed to go scot-free, the answer will be higher.
And so Ghana for feel say mpenifo bebre no omo ya ade ye nchoma.
Yes.
I feel senka mehu okay. So this one also says ordinary. Okay, I think we've done with that. President rarely or never ignores parliament. Ghana yedi 64%. As a president, you ignore parliament, right?
Yeah, which is it means there are maybe I don't know what other proportion is that believe that the president ignores parliament. Sometimes you have to see the other side as well to see whether it is significant or not.
President rarely or never ignores laws or courts.
64%.
Ghana, 65%.
65%.
As a president on disrespected parliament, is that it?
Yeah.
Or D in your man so.
65%. Is it high enough?
65.
We are supposed to be following the law.
Yeah.
So if parliament says this, I think the executive must also do their job. It means that we should have, or we could have done better than this 65%.
Okay. This is where now country is going in the right direction, and country is going in the wrong direction. So in the right direction, 11% of Ghana and if you say Ghana country is going in the right direction, 87% say the country is in the wrong direction. Again, corruption increased somewhat or a lot in the past year. Ghana, 77%. Corruption decreased somewhat or a lot in the past year. Ghana, 6%. And if it's a corruption, a decrease here. Most or all officials in the presidency are corrupt. 55%. And no official in the presidency, is corrupt. And on Ghana, they are 4%. Most of all local government councillors are corrupt. Ghana, they are 34%. No local government councillor is corrupt. Ghana, they are 8%.
I mean, for two issues.
Okay.
The direction of the country, we are mining Namano, and also on corruption. Now, I compare what they got with what Global Info published this month. You can say, which make us say, a lot worse
than yours.
Yes, than ours. About 63% say wrong direction.
Okay.
And our right direction at 27%.
Oh, okay.
So this is a lot worse.
Yeah. Because we right direction 11%.
11%.
And a wrong direction 87%.
That is extremely high. Extremely high. Now, over the issue of corruption, corruption, almost say is getting worse. In July, 47% in our poll.
Okay.
I'm going to say the same, it's about 27%. So if we are close to 74% say it's either getting worse or it's the same. Only 21% say I improve. So again, I think their numbers are quite frightening than the report. But it's worth reading because it gives you a sense of what people are thinking. Say the amount for doing when it comes to corruption. But
you see, a country is moving in the wrong direction or moving in the right direction. The country is broad, right?
Yes.
Then almost share to arrive at that conclusion.
For example, Ibisa was in general, do you believe say be a man in namno e kwan papaso and as be namno e kwan swotro? So it's up to you to take entirety of the environment around yourself in terms of education, in terms of economy, in terms of jobs, in terms of everything that you think a nation makes a nation. Do you believe say we are making progress towards those things? And I say we're not making progress towards those things. So they look at their lifestyle and everything. So sometimes somebody can use education alone and say right direction. Because Philly say on that score, no, and then priority.
Okay.
So for him, we are heading the right way. Obviously, Philly said there be any education then anyhow, and economy no and anyhow. And maybe I won't say no and yet. But will say it's very wrong direction. So it depends on the individual and what is going through, what they are going through in their lives. That determine that they think say maybe a namno a quan for true and I say a quan so yeah was so it's broad, yes.
To emotional question, say, would you say the country is going in the wrong direction or going in the right direction?
Simple. It's the same thing. Yes. Because you see,
Obisa question. Okay.
See, we have to be very careful. Say, you don't provide a clue that would let the person give you a negative or positive response. Say, one example. Say, for example, see there, free education. No, he want to believe. Say, you want you to give him a positive response. Because as a economic you see, so leave the adjectives out.
Okay.
And focus on the nouns: education, employment, economy. Let the person decide for himself.
Okay.
Don't give examples that are negative or positive.
Okay.
And yes, sir, you'll be skewing the responses to what he believes you want to hear.
And for example, when I'm saying in general, how would you describe the present economic condition of this country? How well or badly would you say the current government is handling the following matters, or haven't you heard enough or say managing the economy? They say, how well or badly would you say the current government is handling the following matters? Haven't you heard enough to say creating jobs, for example? So it basically...
Yeah, so here they're trying to break it down to small components. So that on each matrix, you know, what is the person saying on those issues?
Okay. Yanko fitch there, no? Then we can, fitch, if you look at it, say, theme 5, incumbent in some major market will come under pressure in 2024 elections. Long dominant liberation parties in South Africa and Namibia are likely to lose their parliamentary majorities, but remain the largest party, while ruling party in Ghana will lose the opposition, lose to the opposition. To then they bring key development. I'll say this theme has played out thus far. While strong influence over state institutions saw ruling party wins in Comoros, Togo and Chad, incumbents have come under pressure in South Africa and Senegal. Indeed, in line with our views, South Africa's African National Congress lost their 30-year parliamentary majority in the May general election, although they remained the largest political party with 40.1% of the vote share. Ntomokaye say Ombelusu their parliamentary share, but they will still remain the largest party. Or say furthermore, as we had predicted, the main opposition candidate in Senegal, Bassirou Diomaye Faye of the Yo Askan We coalition, defeated the incumbent Beno Bok Yaka's Bloc's candidate, Amadou Ba. Looking ahead, we believe that the ruling New Patriotic Party in Ghana will be defeated by the opposition National Democratic Congress in the December general election, with the ruling party trailing in recent opinion polls. I'm going to refer to the Nana.
You know, opinion polls, name fast one day. the first one say, "Ope say uhu dachi ene." Using science. So the ABC December no. And once I bet now, na be shock. Okay, Fitch so Fitch, a data and research company, advising investors. Baby, this Kabeko, Emfanko Ghana, Emfanko Liberia, Emfanko Sierra Leone. So, this free among echo those countries. No, they want to see which party will be in power, because the policy of the party, MPP, and this determine the kind of investment those guys will make. That is why Fitch did this job.
Okay.
We do the same thing as well as Fitch. And we call it political risk forecasting. And say party, we need power. What would be the effect of this law or effectiveness of certain laws that are already in place? For example, your PPP Act in Ghana here. A buying in Boom, I have so many projects.
Okay.
And there are amount for money almost cow on best of deba. But almost in the last how many years now, how many PPP projects have been executed or by this government? Does the policy of NDC suggest say on bar they will do many things on PPP? If that is the case, then they would wish say the opposition wins power.
Okay.
Because when they win power, they will get businesses in the PPP sector. So he wants to know as an investor who is going to win. Because you don't invest billions by going to a board meeting in 2 weeks and decide. Those decisions are made sometimes years before. You don't want him to sit down and wait for MPP and NDC to win before they make that decision. It won't happen. That's why I almost call Fitch. So my South Africa. South Africa, there was an issue of whether they will go into alliance with the Freedom or with DA. The stock market got jittery. So almost finding alliance with EFF, any Nkuntu was his war, there will be unstable government in South Africa. And the ANC wanted to have a stable market condition for investment. And anything I call alliance with DA, and that alliance calmed the market. So the political analysis that we do and they do inform people who are going to put their money in South Africa.
Okay.
So we expect say DA and ANC will form an alliance. We don't expect ANC to form an alliance with EFF and Nkuntu was his way. That will be unstable government because there are too many people who are unpredictable within that kind of movement. So you see the value of opinion polling and political risk forecasting. So it is part of our job and that's what we do. To Fitch, the Omakano, they anticipate say NDC will win the elections. Opinion poll from January 2022. And then I started you. The first poll was January 2022. We're in July 2024. 31 months, continuous 90 days polling. The record is there. So you can see where the race is headed.
There's a continuously Mahama Minister.
There has never been any poll that he has not led.
Okay.
January 2022, now he was on 48%, and hypothetical race Baumia, if he was to face Mahama, was 42%. Well, that time, now Omunyi candidate. So we're playing hypothetical race Baumia, Mahama, Alan, Mahama, Alan Dufour, and Baumia Dufour. But since NDC did their primaries, we have removed the Dufour case now. And we were showing Mahama against other candidates until MPP called primaries now. So we have that polling data over the last 31 months. Consistently. The race was close in January, 48-42.
January 2024?
No, January 2022.
22, okay.
Omunya passing e-levy per energy in them. Yes, e-levy was passed around April 2022. And the poll for April 22 had Mahama on 53% and Baumia 38%. And since then, Baumia has been coming down.
Wow.
It started going up in April 2023, and then June 2023, and then again in July 2024 when he got 38%. So consistently, it has been down. When you find any average of the polls now, from January 2022 till now, the average is 54% lead for Mahama. That is the average poll.
Oh, that's wide. That's really wide. So it means near fitch for and then it sort of tells who the investor should even support.
That's what I'm telling you. Yes. That's what they're telling you. Indirectly, that's what they're telling you. They are saying, say, he will win the election. And I don't think the investor will listen to us. No, they will listen to Fitch because Fitch controls their money. We don't control their money.
Oh, so in this election, NDC, you're likely so more support from these investors than MPP.
It is possible, yes. If that is how they are funded, then they will put their money where their mouth is.
Oh, quite interesting. So as we sit here, and I hear to me see predictions and polls in a certain way, but actual elections goes a certain way.
Yes.
To me see.
There are situations where the poll will not anticipate some future event. Same thing, you're quite say, if the elections are held today, who would you vote for? In Bissau say December 1 Abatwama, that will give a different response. If it is held today, who would you vote for? Because we believe, say, events in the day's election may make the situation good for another candidate or worse for another candidate. If you look at US elections, we didn't anticipate, say, Biden would drop. So all the polling numbers have been showing, say, Biden, Trump. What if Biden is no longer in the race and it's Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom and Whitman? Then the dynamics changes. Anything can happen in the campaign. You can't guarantee somebody will be alive at the time. And there are instances where candidates have died and they have been replaced by another candidate. And that completely changed the outcome of the elections. So the future is unknown, but looking at the current trajectory, if nothing changes and we go the way we are going, the results will not change.
Yeah, last week or two, me who says CNN for a year, Kamala Harris against Trump. Now I said Kamala had defeated Trump. Is there a percentage also? Then they did Trump and
Biden. Biden was close.
Yeah, was
exactly. See, your core base is very important. So core base is divided. You will not win the election. So what we see in the Biden camp, they say, the Democrats are divided.
Okay.
On the Trump on the Biden issue.
Yeah.
The black voters,
especially after the debate, huh?
Absolutely. So if you have the black voters and Latino voters, normally they vote heavily for Democrat. This time the number is down compared to previous elections. It's because of one factor in the equation. Biden, his age, and the concern of people about his age. So we in the free world, then the age argument diminishes. So the reason why people vote for Trump was because they feel that Biden is old, he can't work. Now he's no longer in the equation. Okay, I'm coming back home.
Okay.
And those are the things that are making Kamala Harris different in the polling numbers compared to Biden.
Okay. But so back in our contest, Yenim said the Ashanti region is the trump card of the MPP.
Yes.
Does it play a role in how far Omo underperforming in all of the polls?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And it's not only just Ashanti region. Everywhere that MPP has been strong in the past is not looking the same way they used to do.
Eastern region,
yes.
Ashanti region.
Western region.
Western.
Even Bono region.
Okay.
See, the problem MPP is facing is coming from their own backyard.
Okay.
Some work we've done in the north, the north is stable.
At the MPP?
When I say stable, it hasn't gotten worse compared to previous elections.
Okay.
Right? So it's stable. Upper East is stable. Upper West is stable. Northeast is stable. Northern region, this Savannah is stable. When I say stable, it means that the rates have not changed fundamentally, and it's in a very big way in those regions.
There's a Nippano winning or Honana be winning still.
There is still a small movement here and there.
Okay.
But Uba baby assisa and Lota, the Akan areas and Greater Accra.
Okay.
Eastern region is completely in shambles right now because Alan and Kwame Bediako are taking a good chunk from Eastern region. Yes.
Kwame Bediako, Cheddar.
Cheddar.
Okay. But they are not from the Eastern region. Today, we take a chunk from Eastern region.
They are the part of the Akan family.
Okay.
So they are doing well in the Akan regions.
Okay.
Between Bediako and Alan, nearly 15% in Eastern region.
Oh, wow.
Mama is doing around 49% in Eastern region. Normally, it should be around 60s.
Okay.
You see the problem? Western region is the same. Central is only region that we see keen contest in Central region.
Okay.
Greater Accra, the problem in Greater Accra is twofold. The NDC strong areas and MPP strong areas. Whereas the NDC areas are voting massively for their candidate, MPP strong areas are abandoning the party. And Accra has the largest voting population in the country. And they have the highest number of Omon Twaba beside Ashanti region. And Omon Twaba, a good number of them are MPP4. So the numbers are not really backing it doesn't show, say, they have a very clear path to winning the elections.
In terms of abandon, they are not also voting for the NDC.
Some of them are voting for NDC. About 8% of MPP voters are voting for NDC in the election. 8%.
Okay.
A chunk of them say Abanamonto.
Okay. Which is what happened in 2008.
Absolutely.
When Time then decided.
Even 2016 for NDC.
Okay.
The numbers were NDC, they didn't vote. So you see, when things like that is happening, it's either you find something to galvanize your base, say, then things will look different. But for now, look, there are areas where NDC should not even have a whims of even getting 40%.
Okay.
Now you see NDC around 50.
50.
50. In areas that should have been no-go area for them. In Greater Accra here.
Okay. Wow. But still, I know, now I can say, Nnawotwe here is to whip your grassroots.
What do you need to whip them? You see, you don't just whip somebody because he's a party member.
Okay.
You must give him a reason for him to whip, to come out. The reason he's not voting, they say, he hasn't seen any improvement. I adding. So appointing any individual will not change that situation.
Okay.
But if the economy from today till November somehow transforms radically, and people begin to feel, say, oh, then the way they were feeling before will change. And like I said, this election is about what? The economy and jobs.
Okay.
And that's what Fitch said.
Okay.
That's what these guys are also saying. So unless there is a fundamental shift in the economy and employment, nothing will change.
And yeah, by education.
No.
Yes, it is. And yeah, no. It's by economy.
You see, people are looking to survive now. Free education is given. It's a Maslow hierarchy of needs. Say, Musakan, we are that item doesn't necessarily motivate you any longer. You want something different.
Okay.
And a psychologist will tell you, say, once they have it, and they know, say, it has come to stay, it will motivate the new voters.
Internal ways are post where because when you were speaking now, I said, "Udru baby, no na ugwa home cry. We are post now. First of all, unsro. How does it come to you after say why you post? You won't say, hey, I deal with this any situation. No,
but there must be somebody who can look at people in the face and tell them what they don't want to hear.
Can you treat mommy?
A drew implementation or so we know on Pabia, or opening himself penny and kuye. Without fear. So that people who are some no my.
Okay.
Young age man posters. They who and I say you who ya yanka. So yeah, the trouble on China of really say some who I mean it's okay, but you see, you do time be don't listen to what people are saying, because if you observe, yeah, essentially, the way you cover polling in this country since we came into being global informatics, it me free MPB. Yeah, born number back. No, I'm supposed to say, what do you think about what they are saying? Come on, I'm moving from hearsay into specific data. So how do we help the country to focus on issues other than political parties' way of saying things? You do much here, nothing will be done properly. But we know is they are being forced to respond. About sometimes we know Yama show. Which means numbers, but now Yama show. But when anything, and now we're just the messenger. You're the owner of the messages. We are simply being the messengers. Your call us assistant. We come back and tell you. Your call about me improve Yameka. In April, no down 35%. It goes to 38%. We said it. So I call for 55 for Yameka. We don't owe anybody any favor or allegiance. And the company that was will speak the truth regardless.
Okay. Mr. Dankwa, medase for your time this morning. Ora Musa Dankwa, Executive Director for the Global Info Analytics on Anapenyano and a train common to any AC corner dia as a Bibiano Eteote towards the NDC. Can the MPP change anything from now to December 7? Well, that's in Sembisa also as a party and Omutumi. But some of you much wondering about the economic conditions of this country. And then you also what can they find? Senior obeti obe tuaba. Shall we?
Me ne die nanado wa be adwuma wa ye adwuma pa abo Ghana because obia ne wo so wo ye e na nanado so wo bae no wa ye ne die into youth ne die ye nanado bae no wa be boa youth no ama nyuma ne imputu ayi bebre akoso nti nanado die ne me metumi aka se wa ba be boa youth no ankasa nanado ene wo de toto other president no ho a nanado aye bebre a chen other president no ne me work on nanado aye adwuma e na free education no de buy na so to me ne de aboa yen pa because oba western of anoma na kuku nsem na ne wo ha kuku apart from kuku na adwuma bi ani ha e na nanado ama anka debre na ntimi aye den anko school ntimi de ne metimi aka ne se nanado wa ba be adwuma aboa youth no ama youth na aboa yen
ase de na sabe enkoye de bai sisi ade mi am timu se o makeka mo na me hwɛ modern boy mo bɔ no Davos district a me ase mani kura keke ebi sɛ de wa mo si yeye kwan Davos district wa wo check ya de wa mo si gu kuro no first na bibia ni kuro ni mu ba ko jisi a ko Davos district ni mu a o ma start e o mo gu kwan ni nyina ase mabunu nso mo nya adwuma ye nti me check last 2 years e bana de wa mo si bu Omani de na me Adom de people my idea pa ekoyi my sana yi na
MPP awan walen me mete akora wonte mete akora bemte akora so be fa me metutu ase a boy MPP awan wayen ote kama mam because enia Ghana ni tesi boy ne osi ko 2012 morning nia nanado walene wasisa wama yangura no mopo boy na etiewuru iliska mo envengu school mopo ya hola ho school na so free SHS mo boy ofa warranty na ni pongum bet wama ni jempen boy ne ongo yie ni wa hoye wa mai ama hoye wa mai ma yangura no mo like na me na ngura no pongum bemben mo popin na la ebenya so vaswebo titiru bemo boy bae Bombo Bengura and Kabi call like Abafam for the money. Bombo Benye Cinemony, I'm Calapin, Boafabu Capa. You would in a lapoe, Cronte, and Pipiani. Wabukai, maybe you could in Kabi. You would in boy, Niabo, Wabukai, you crayon.
Yeah.
me can say here based on say yeah share the course so if you COVID mobile nche and now Ukraine Russia war so and so you go so high course now economic challenge like globally I can't say Ghana dey better off but I think say global will be a struggle with the economy no if you are buying no about in terms of infrastructure na the omaya there but the back me who say corruption no that's a corruption management no for Makra. Yes, I don't meet me increase management na nkabeboa. Yeah.
Well, when and sema mo binum mo de to your reporters and nimo abraya no be din come about senior musi ho aban ene nyoma ne senior city. Dr. Banasco Ansa, a member of the MPP's National Communications team. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning.
Yeah, boko there.
Ezekuma
boko.
Boko.
Okay. Okay.
Just say no man and tutu nyina eguna kwa mu na mu ebeka se ne pa ekoso Ghana nyina no ebeka kakra no ebe kakra so be push up small of him that said be ya
is there dey been
man for no so oh yentumi nka se been through but Oliver Trace we always ask for more.
Okay. All right. Richard Mandoribe, a member of the NDC's National Communication team. Rich.
Yeah.
Outside.
Aja, ego so.
But the bia who hana be ka James or say kwa. Anyway, share the Afrobarometer and Fitch solutions or more report on the and how it impacts this election. Richard, I'm shouting for you on this one.
Ma menfa kwenya wenchia wati for na shafo so.
Okay, 10 minutes for to break into me 5 pepe no be anya bia.
Na me chair His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, the incoming President of the Republic of Ghana. Na me chair the good people from Kwanta South constituency, T region. That's my constituency. With the policy and program our company His Excellency John Dramani Mahama de Bano. I think say as Minya Dog Kai say enkakra kra echiche magana for nyina no. We are so be kabi. We are building the Ghana we want together.
Yes.
And in building the Ghana we want together, we want an equity in the distribution of the state cake and more BBR. I believe, say, that is the way we have to go. With the 24-hour economic policy, so I'm President John Dramani Mahama DB. I think, say, more constituency, as you so takra, say, boys, and I say, Chinchana, more Chinchin, Ajumabi, and I believe, say, with that policy and program, there will be jobs, and jobs. And then, when you say the major problem in this country, I fully say is about food. But if there's food security in this country, then one will say Atronyanani, all these things will stop. So Omanpeni John Dramani Mahama is going to industrialization of agriculture. We are even looking at agriculture and agribusiness. So I know so you are into local production of our agriculture. So Omanpeni John Mahama say he's going to make sure say he will retool you people and then make sure say you are resourceful with every equipment and more. In the local sector, then we expand the buffer stock institution, and storage of it. So there's hope for this country, and I believe with the policy and program of Mampeni John Dramani Mahama Edibano, with the 24-hour economy, with the industrial of agriculture, with the national apprenticeship program, and the good news, and I say, Mbana Mudijoi, Women's Bank, to make sure every woman will get at least something to support the micro economy. And then I can fish any Afrobarometer reporter ever. I think it's of no news. But in any case, every day, maybe we take every survey and every report very serious as a political party. Recently, Afrobarometer did buy and say the young ones, the first-time voters, are now trying to buy the idea of the MPP itself, the first-time voter. It was a worry to the NDC. And let me be just open to you because we believe, say, as a political party, the young ones, bet me about the time because their parents are going through what the society is going. If the Afrobarometer is saying that the first timers are jeering towards the MPP, it should be a problem. But if it was a problem. But really, I said there was only things. The flag bearer of the MPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bamia, has come out with a package of lies. It's a package of lies. I mean, they kept lies, and it's a PhD in loyalty, and he's good at lying. And then going.
But
it's a fact. It's a fact.
Oh, PhD in loyalty.
No, I'm sorry. I was chat now that's how him say. No, they see the reality of the matter. No, because me, as man Richard in 2016 when I was going to the post, I was confused. Even though I was a governor appointee of my government, I was confused Because a young man who they are telling now they're going to bring up the economy. A young man who was telling me that my district in Kwanta is going to get a factory. I saw a young man who told me that my district in Kwanta is going to get $1 million per constituency in my constituency to develop this. I saw a young man who told me I was going to get roads that are going to be concrete in my constituency. I saw a young man who told me that it was going to be every individual in Kwanta was going to get a bank account. I saw a young man who told me there will be a robust of economy and they were going to toll all the roads in this country and get revenue. I saw a young man who told me that President Mahama was incompetent.
He said everyone will get a bank account.
Yes, he said it. He said it. Yes. And I saw a young man who told me that in Oti region, that's the regional capital in Damai, there was going to be a national theater. Then because they were going to be robust of economy, so if I'm moving from Kwanta to Fosu to Damai, it's easier for me because there will be road network, and every Saturday I'll go and watch movies to boost the creative art industry. And I saw a young man who told me that if I go to Potropo, I go to Alajakura, I go to this, I was going to get a village dam to make sure that we boost the irrigation of agriculture sector in this country. And this young man I'm talking about is Dr. Baumia. Are you getting me? Hey, Dr. Baumia, if you go to Nkwantasa, there's no one district, one factory. If you go to Nkwantasa, there's no one village, one dam. If you go to Nkwantasa, there's no one warehouse. If you go to Nkwantasa now, there's no $1 million per constituency. If you go to Nkwantasa, nobody has a bank account. Even those that have bank account, those accounts have been closed down because the banks have been collapsed. If you go to Nkwantasa South now, there's no a single kilometer road that have been added to it. If you go to Nkwantasa South now, there's no robust of agriculture. If you go to Nkwantasa, there's hunger and poverty that we are seeing. It have leveraged all my people, the people that I used to serve, the people that we're all serving together, making sure that we're doing inner city road, making sure this. So if I say, well, he has a PhD in loyalty, that is what I mean, because we have a very incredible flag bearer. We have a flag bearer. So if Fitch and then Afrobarometer is saying that the NDC is going to get 54%, as a political party.
They didn't quote a figure.
No. Fitch quotes 54%.
Fitch.
Yeah, Fitch.
Okay.
And then yes, and then
that's fine. Thank you. Let me bring in Doc. Yeah, Doc.
Yeah. Edika mamincha ashafo. Na mincha mini amanelo bini wankasaso. Na yambo Ghana fo abaso. Abre nyina no de meka ne se asomdwe wo Ghana man ni mu no enwu nya che bibia. Empo ni se abre nyina no obibia na muntu a wotu na adwuma peso ye otumi koso. So there is one thing I've always advocated, say Ghana embebu na yewom abre bia yema ye ninda ho ne yasoso nda ho se de be ya adibia obi be hihya ebema asomdwe wo man ni mu no ebeto apede ebebo mbode ne atwe ho afiri ho etoso biem MPP amanyoko mamincha excellency na Nnawotwe Yi Akufo-Addo ene na bedi akire ene party mpenifo nyina na menka se enda amene wo kasa yi nyame adom MPP enhyehye pa ndwuma pa edigugu akamu under the Youth Employment Agency ndra amisa wote dwumadi fe endene nansa wote dwumadi fe fa ekosu Kumase embebu na omanya training under the Youth Employment Agency yamom akande omoso mo de koye adwuma ama yetumi training mo abeka ho. As he rightly said, Ghana adekese ayepe embebu no ndwuma na aban yi so aye very committed to that cause. And Pempen Subia no yehwe se sade no ebekoso enwie pay you na in CP. It's say every blessed day as I speak to you, somebody is at the labor ward. And so human population increase, any demand for jobs in the day, it is something that it can never go to waste. And I say, enya dibi to me sida say obi enya adwuma. Then boom aban modem wa wabo adwuma ye ho. Onzo kan say first time voters. Yes, indeed, first time voters in nipa dodo no hanfian so mo secondary school. Ebi o wa hanfian so mo university ni ade. They see the policy interventions aban ye MPP aban edibaye. Me say nothing will stop me from being a member of the MPP because of one single policy. Free SHS. Me boom composure woman no munim wo ma chen. And that's why we doctor because my PhD. But there are people no more far better than us in terms of academics. But they couldn't continue the education. One day me nam dan someone and me whom me mate be. And near Bobo tester. If any of them is listening, School of Ghana languages say Juma could then demonstration. When we are the first, we to Tibula could be the first. Now one guy will come. I don't mention his name. He's usually among the first three. But me who no nam kwa mwa sebe usuya adiebi. Ejuma bi. Menkese ejuma suya nye. Nembom a tipa near the bomb madie, nay and tono cry because they did 10th, 11th near there. But those people, most of them couldn't continue their education, they ended there. Why? Because there was no money to pay. Into the free SHS policy, no, or more money benefits, no, because of that, they are saying, say, MPP are buying pay and they pay to me as Sustainia, Bebuama and Punto, about my brabum in terms of getting higher education. Ubi our town the corner our secondary school keke. Any the uncle secondary school, there are differences. Packaging alone would let the person become more richer because we to mama aya kono ye. Coming to the issues of fitch and Afrobarometer. Yes, every research finding has its own implications. Now me as a researcher, there is no way they be mebo obi researcher why you. But every research, you know, a certain specification and answer parameters.
Okay. Doc, me jina na meba what me wrap up. Now say to me call mula na weekend. Yen gongo show mo mu wini e o mula na o munya ska and then tie be ko na ba ba.
Na ti show no zo ko cha mo bi se fuma ye.
Memo akwa babio enfamra Nnawotwe Yi so Adom TV and Asempa FM. Well, so congrats to moi ma woni bibi e mula game park nemo. Well, yen to so enti doc na our floor mema wonwie na afi maba manu be so.
Yeah, enti because research bia no no implications. Now what feature omo ye adwuma for quite a number of years. Enti omo findings bi ba. There were two ways to look at it. Number one, they say, is it the reality? If it is the reality, at the end of the day, you found said you may change the reality no into our favor. And number two, when was it conducted? Was it based on emotional response? Many two major research and answer major data everywhere based on issue bia eye automatically response I would be mammy no. A be implicated and as a be mammy and as a be skewed towards a certain angle. Also, the time omoji omo findings now. Now these kind of kakra about even within the government work sector. And as a government sector workers mu.
But me try so but me ne ora Musa So from 2022, Mahama leads till now. You are saying
I've taken the point here. I've taken the point here.
Okay.
So almost 30 years. First one of year that was somewhere 2023. No. Now, ye candidate.
Yes.
But no more say MPP candidate be or bababia, which means it was a projection. Because ni any candidate as a 2022-2023 ye candidate 4th November 2023 enti eno na de ba ya within January or February omo de findings be by I place Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia at 34%. At that time it was 34, and then me know can say when you have 4 percentage points about 38%.
Yeah, that
means that certain things are changing. And anything I may say, when you want to put research funding into a context and answer specific areas, at every point in time, certain key factors and they determine responses and for the member. But what I say, and we should also know, say the research, NIPA a response, they are a fraction of the community. Yes, it can be generalized based on methods and I know fit will do a due diligent work. However, some feature to me are projected. Kenyan election, but it didn't come true.
Okay.
The omo predicted as obe win, no. And I say omo finance nature as obe win. It didn't win. Omo in Nigeria, it didn't come true. Just as Afrobarometer. But at the end of the day, no, every point in time, certain things can change. Just a day can change election results. And yes, and Gaucho primaries now the year. I told that BB a surprising for. That is to say that though they have done the research, they were MPP and Muni say, we are not telling them so. And I said, yes, you said we have come to 38. That means we are putting in measures at Ebwa. And so, as a party, we have about 5 months to election. And 5 months to election, and 4 months to election. No. A very long way, though a short. Yes, a very long way, though a short. One single act can change the mindset of a lot of people in an election. On this will be unopposed, I will KNUST, I will lose. Unopposed, well, lose. When you 128 votes against 385 no. 128 yes, 385 no. Who thought it can happen? But when people got to know, say na call suntina when you're unopposed, then bam. Inti elections there, me makwa elections are kwa. So the dynamics of elections, it can change at any point. But MPP as a government or as a party, yen discard or more resource or modiaba. Yen say yes, yes steady, and we are putting in measures. Baby, Emma, Ocean Executive Assembly now. People were voting based on certain emotions. How do you tell those emotions? Say the bear of emotions in the best son. Ebia will buy a comedy no, and also. Ugo bisani say obi a papa wa ma wadiane. Obeto abama na obeka say dabi. Ba mani papa ma na aduane ni sisi a obeka cho say an. Graduate bi every school onyanya adwuma. Obi yen posti no. And then ye bia omu posti a certain people. Onye ni posting we are the decision esesa. Enti when it comes to research issues there, me dey bia the make an say the time is very important. When was the data collected? What were the prevailing issues are now on board? Man, nipa taking certain decisions they took. And the population dynamics, which people were selected from which source. And only in Asia, then you come and find out, say, okay, Adia SCA. At the end of the womb. You see, even Richard, I say, while winning the crown, or say, Omo day, Omo Yaduma. How much more here we see a lusu? Fine, we see a lusua. Election has only two ends: lose or win. Apart from whom prime minister and mobile draw by and penamiensa. I said that be an ube lusu and I'll be winning. In this was a lusua. What can we put in place? And I know, say, the next chapter agenda, Ayera Mahmoud Baumia, about outlining the vision our UPS auditorium. And in some more kind, and they say the youth, at yes, say, and they share the kind of digitalized systems are ye usua. One more minor, and then Nippon one. No, we the vice president. Why are the most visible vice president in the history of Ghana? Now, no. I am the most visible vice president in the history of Ghana. Nene, she say ya ono person odibegu akwemu. Say the beya ebema continuity with certain policies ayedia. I am telling you, the policies ayedia gu akwemu piwa. The impact will be felt in the years to come. And I believe, say Ghana for my continuity ya. And we never boa. Ama yenya fapima Ghana pen obetumi agina so afi obi aba obetwa so. That notwithstanding, there was one important thing me pese faith na dey nyumo yo mbehwe. Say the issues of development agenda or plan compared to party manifesto and its issues, because every blessed point layer can say when to anye, but in government certain issues ebe crop it up no. You need to tackle the issues and sometimes even curtail your manifesto. That is what's very important. And this I don't say it for my party alone. I say it for all others. And that is why we think that the MPP as a government policy interventions say digu akwem ni na ma ye kase ye beye ni ade ayeye no. Dodo na no ama mbegu no nya hotoso. And if you get first time voters saying they are going to vote for you, which per the voting dynamics which a voter register so the youth bracket of 18 to 40 no forms about 72%. And these are the people who are saying that majority are going to vote for you. Mate. And so we do not want to say fitch. But at least about 4 percentage points, 38%. We are moving gradually. Mate. And by September, no, minimum 50. Now November, we cross the 51 threshold. Medase. I mean, fitch. There's no executive summary. I'm sure that you are using Afrobarometer. Sorry, forgive me. I think that I switched it. Yeah, exactly. And Timanurube, member, but again, for your point to fetch Emma figures to any party. Yeah. No. Fitch gave. There are no figures. Just saying. No, Fitch gave a prediction of 54%. Yes. Yes. Where? They gave. I mean, go. Where is it? It says. Let me. Yes, 54%. It says. The opposition victory in Senegal and the ruling party's trailing position in Ghana's opinion polls. And then it comes down to expand on Ghana, Ghana, it just says yes. It says, your friend say, okay, so this theme is unfolding partially as anticipated. Fiscal pressures have indeed persisted into 2024. Caused by sustained high interest rate across the region and heightened election-related expenditures in South Africa, and Ghana and political pressures for wage increases in Nigeria.
despite blah 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 blah. So that's it. I didn't see it. So I would love to see
it. From your own website, I want to source from the Major Online. Okay. Because or can say the NDC, the opposition is likely to win elections. No, the London-based firm, which has been doing consistent polls, and with the focus since last year, argue that 54% of the respondents survey tipped NDC candidate John Dramani Mahama as a winner of the upcoming presidential elections.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes, upon the survey, yes, upon the survey is 54% of it.
So at least when there is the mention of 54%, invariably you are saying it's 54% of the voter population
of Ghanaians,
because the one you took is a representation of the total population.
But I can tell you, we as a political party, yes, have a year as individuals, and sometimes we also arrive about almost 54.3%. So we are always close to what Fitch is saying. Okay. But what kind of Fitch in the Afrobarometer report now?
I think it was even 57 as at the last one.
But in as much as there will be a decline. I mean, there will be a decline because this is a time that you are paying and you are giving nursing training allowances to nurses for the past 7 years. You've not paid them. This is the time that you are promising. You are promising giving them laptops, the senior high school laptops. This is the time you are promising unpromisable things.
This is the time we are giving
you are promising unpromising things. So there will be a little bit climb up of it. But you see, who share a fitch any Afrobarometer based on what of their survey now. But that's cool, dog. I can assure you that you are invited to Independence Square for the swearing in of President John Mahama as the President of the Republic of Ghana. Because the Ghanaian people have clearly, almost can clearly why they are not going to vote for the MPP. What is number one? They say economic hardship. As they say, economic hardship is one of the major problems. Almost say they are not going to vote for the MPP because the system now is too much hard. Because it's clearly and say it's up to is under President Nana Akufo-Addo that President Nana Akufo-Addo brought a flag bearer, a running mate. Our church says he's going to turn down the fortune of the economy of this nation. And also in his darkest movement, it's John Dram. What is his name, sir?
Dr.
Mahmoud Bawumia. And what me fixing the economy? What me making sure that the economy is very stable? And Ghanaians are saying that the hardship of the economy in this country, and they are not going to vote for the MPP. And so if you sit here and dream, say, there will be a climb up or there will be an increase of the decision to get to 50 in September and to get the people of Ghana, the people of Nkwanta South, the people of your constituency, as the people know the hardship they are saying. They are saying that they're not going to vote for you. They are saying that the will to fight corruption. I know. They say the will to fight corruption is one of the major problems. Almost saying that not them and since that's the case, I will compare John Dramani Mahama the will to fight corruption and not them the will to fight corruption. It is clear, say, I can't fight any corruption, and for that matter, they are not going to give them any support. And they say they have been declined in the democracy. But let's go. That is what we should look at too. Decline in the democracy. Because the democracy, I'm for the democracy also end the because we share the 1992 constitution, the NDC nested. The 1992 constitution, you're building up democracy, and even in our term, we will try to do review to make sure we satisfy the masses and the public. They said they have been declining on it, and for that matter, any idea they will look at you in that case. And there have been jobs, and that's the major problem. The NPP for about 8 years that have ruled in government, but that's because you know the fact, the dog. Only the fact to say, up to now, you have not been able to bring a single policy for 2024 elections. One man for the armor. If you ask the MPP today, what's your policy that you are bringing? You don't have any policy. What do you tell us? No, what do you tell us? No, what you tell us is that President Mahama is going to do 4 years. That's the policy you have. If you ask what the policy of the MPP, you tell us that Mumbo policy, they say, the NDC cannot explain 24-hour economy. You can say, what is your policy? Also, NDC for Edin Koko Book and Ketimba. That is not a policy. The policy is that 4 years. What are you going to do? Yeah, Dr. Bawumia, UPS, a bigger platform, and he was even sweating. What was it? Was it Mutu Abamame? Say, Mutu Abamami, I might cancel e-levy. Not the damn for the e-levy or the buy. And the main policies, me a vice president, my 33 policies. But they said here, me driver's mate, nti moto abama me ba, ma be cancel lady. Yeah, but so policy we also moto abama me, so moto abama me ma be cancel bet tax. Yes, yes, policy lady, also moto abama me, so moto abama me ma be reduce ministers from 85 to 50.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you are the vice president of the Republic of Ghana. And then you can go over to my coordination piece. So, why are 33 policies? Digitalization, whatever it is. We want a policy that you are bringing as a political party. It's not the NDC. It is not the NDC 24-hour economy non-explanation. It is not the NDC's 4 times of President Mahama. It is about what you can do for Ghanaians. And I can tell you can ask any youth today, the NPP has been very hollow.
Okay.
When it comes to policy. Yeah. But the NDC is saying that we are bringing 24-hour economy to give Ghanaians jobs. I mean, you see how boys are suffering today. Okay. We are bringing it. Okay. The NDC is saying that we are making sure we industrialize agriculture and make agriculture and agribusiness together. Okay. The NDC is saying they are bringing the women's bank back. The NDC is telling you that we are going to now you collapse it. We are going to revamp the collapse bank. And don't know Park syndrome. Cry. We are saying that we are bringing a national apprenticeship program. We are saying we are building 6 new universities. We are saying we are building 6 new regional hospitals. And these are policies. 6 new regional hospitals in the 6 newly created regions.
Okay. But you understand? By is having one.
No, there's no regional hospital. No, there's no regional hospital. The regional hospital is It is Rara. You brought it. But it's not up. But we are saying that we are building 6 new regional hospitals.
Understand that?
Yes. I mean, but we have done it before.
Okay.
You know the hospital.
Thank you very much. So, Obetumeja will comment on Facebook. Well, you call the second subject, which is the whether or not government Air Force Treaty, the OSP. Nnawotwe Yi.
But you said a lot of things. I think you.
Which one?
Which one?
You see, if and Semanu will be to meet now.
But I also who say according to the Afrobarometer to know if you are going to go the Afrobarometer, which I say a lot of people and the number is quite huge. If you say this country is moving in the wrong direction, and they cite the economy issues, they cite employment issues.
Exactly. I've read it.
Exactly. So,
but what I'm saying is,
even the people are also saying that they want free and fair elections because they are having down with the electoral commission.
Exactly. The American say at every point in time, government in power, people's expectation, and especially that of MPP compared to the NDC, because NDC nya 3%, now MPP nya 9%. People don't see it. Because they feel that, yes, you have the men to deliver. And indeed, we are delivering. However,
really?
No, however.
Now, deliver 87% of Ghana for say we are moving in the wrong direction.
However, at every point in time, depending on the circumstances, prevailing circumstances, okay, responses to research or...
Maninya can be brave.
And I say, I'm really young for the Bema, I will be service someone. Any in Waye Beba, ne Uditun Saniani, a copy my bribino, a yana sunsu. Yes. Obika say ene bibia ye rose nti obi anwa to nesia me as MPP me ne nyadwen eye den a eno ma ba ko mienu miensa ekofo ehu ekwa atwa ewo nanso ehihye ya aban di gu akwan mu ni die odi gu akwan mu ni die di begu akwan mu Yewra Mahmoud Baumi aka kire se Ghana ha ye benya fapem papa ebema enkuntabuo sikasem hyehyeye ne anamoto besi ya ejina kwa ye fa so ye di abefo eye enuma. Inti ya no distinguish between say economic aspect compared to using the digital system. So now ye dey boama enyama agent.
But almost 8 years, yes, Anka, we should have been seeing some dividends by now.
Oh, you see it, but maybe you are not appreciating it today as it stands. Let's just look at even our power system.
And maybe the 87% of people who say the country is moving in the wrong direction.
At a point in time, even 95% of people can say certain things are moving in a certain direction, depending on the prevailing condition. But odi no megu akwemu nyina no na adwensakra na yede eba. Anything I make us say, once others would look at the percentage point indicator as very small, it is significant to me. Why? Because that means there has been a change.
Okay.
And the change, you know, and as I say, sayana abano, ebuama fapima yesi no, yinya ahuncheso say, anya fapim na finkofu.
Okay.
Then notwithstanding, if it comes to policy intervention, me plan say on the onteshi about nshisepa iraba umia aka ne ogusoka with regards to import and export durability. And I say when you first so ekra ni no man.
So what are your policies? Tell us your policies.
Policy intervention of ensuring the port system is fully digitalized and automated so as to ensure
when there's no stability, when there's no
the pricing window any systems ni nyina no etoda na business like no amwa. But however, there can be policy interventions that a bit me abo masanya mani nyina.
What are the policy interventions?
It's about arresting the dollar.
Yo, that's the point.
And the last time I think on one of the sister stations, I made a suggestion say, so how come dollar trade systems are so open to the public?
Let's
what you say? This port thing is talking about. Brilliant idea. Say you want Ghana port to be like Togo port.
Yeah.
Now, who use 10 safer? Togo. How they call it London, and how they call it who change it into CG, who change it into dollar. For the past 20 years or the past 10 years, it has been a very stable,
flat rate.
Flat rate,
yes.
Okay. But in Ghana, me go to $10. Me send a scan. The following day, the dollar has moved to $10 or 20 pesos.
But you saying that now can say safer no exchange to the dollar has been stable? Is that,
no,
that what you're saying?
That is the policy about we are talking about.
So we are saying that.
But I know
we are saying anyway. See, the economy has to bring in the major problem. They say it's about stabilization of the city.
Yeah.
And then menu consumption, menu did. Baby is imported. And even though the person will not charge you in dollar, but Australian expenses now or the buyer now, he will charge you based on that. Okay. And they will tax you now. And then you have covered tax.
Mate, let's go to the second topic. Now, former Auditor General Adom TV address a lecture be within the week. Now, say, you know, you're creating OSP, so but it looks like his work is being frustrated by people in government. There was a president and also calling for to order. Really, is the OSP's work being frustrated? Analyzing this state. Let me start back on. Okay. 5 minutes on this one.
Okay, sure. I think that in the first place, OSP was established for a specific purpose. Now, the jurisdiction, HSA, obetumi HSA, government, and as abayin ejuma ye for enhyehyɛ ye fasika sem tutu ho anase anamoto bitu a embo amanye we no ebenya the sole prerogative so betumi a prosecute sa ene no said be ya ibenya atentene ne ase anase prepare your entemso enti megin di say abayan ono no wenya opepa to appoint anase create the office. Because now you are there and you didn't come dada. Abrebia no promise upon promise. Almost past president, you know, Ubia to make us a meba, may BBC. But Ubia to me and Sinable Anka say and Pamedia, me manabim, said the Beya, a man for the Binyam Faso. For the president to even have that decision, say me critique our system. Now Abuama Yako, Katashan prayer or by Numemono. Aya there a dance, near walk a banabaso. Make a win in a frustration, no, minimum. The aspect are Adom level edi freeba, but I hear when I listen and read, he saying when they want to take certain actions, abayano eya onye prevalent and answer willing and ready to support its actions. He established the government. This is the government that established the OSP's office, gave you all the mandate. Say we to me there with the but the OSP should also show say any circumstance say as if say or the powers are be to me be open without anybody questioning. We live in a country the rules and laws and the government. Into utu and amobia so at every point in time, people must also assess whether what you are doing is in the right direction or you are doing it based on your own personal vindicta. And she say ya by the go akwamuni and amutu utu ye. Any nhwehwemu or pese oye bia no. State institutions are was a ebo OSP ni chidom. Ade o mabo ni chidom. Na equipping them with resources so there OSP to me can say abayan on find resources are also the man Emma. So the point is that once you have the power to prosecute, people also have the power to appeal. And I say to defend themselves. Until the mere fact say what will be charged. No, nipa no so feel say me to me use the laws that are available to me e defend me ho no and then kire say e was aban hye nipa ne say oye me appointee nti chinchin achi won saka na ma me fa ne nko onipa no so won kwan say o defend ne ho but if there are other specific things enka domlevo betumi aka kire ya say oh ebia me pese me dey asem we kokot aban na frem say ma me fa nko and asem pese me tu anamo we aban ne say ma me fa ntu a then we understand say ampa ebia de woken ewo me to me nka say de oka ni nyina so nim wo bra ebia de ogina so no me nyanyan e no no so no fa metu da.
No, but the concern some people have about has to do with, even when the OSP, the sort of, support and on the visa the obstructions that OSP.
Obstructions in what sense?
For example, Mama Cecilia da party, so or and then the Obi also to me man the power so can say well you didn't take the right procedure near there. Those are the things.
So the key word here is what? Right procedure.
No, but right procedure in whose view?
Yeah, in the view of the law. So for the right procedure in the view of the law, nobody can come from outside to say one year the right thing. Anything I make us say the mere fact say yama to me say una we host no. And then say me better ha no abeka say yes o ma me ho nyefe ye discuss it. And you think I'll be happy to discuss. Topic a wodi aba no because ye topic a ye nyina na ye feel say ye discuss ye nti na ye discuss nti say wo to me say wo je host ni kire say de wo pe bia na wo kan the same thing na OSP ni so ye OSP no there are laid out procedures wo say wo fa so de ye adwuma ana say wo di tu anamon and kire say chinchin a che say me na wo say me bokọ adu nti say me bokọ adu no kura me pese kwan bi say me de fa so bokọ adu critical example ye ma me sisi da pa de ya wo kan ye de ne asem no wa asem bibia wo say me de me nsa to no ma so. The OSP is not an adjudicator. Uno the court. Na court no amamwaye. Unless you want to tell me say you want to be the prosecutor and the court at the same time. Obama verdict. That one, if the court gives verdict and as a court ni bu aten and as omuma forgive me. So omuma verdict and as omuma judgment what I say omubu asemwa. And no ain't the government. The court is not government. Court, whether we like it or not, Ghana, yadiama investors work confidence by who say your court systems and a judicial system are very solid. And under Yamamio Tokununi, Omo Chumuku Ninano, a Jumu Yinane, so Mubeshese, and a Mutua, Abani to, and a Mutua Obie to, and a Mutua Mene, Manu Benina to know, a family because Omo Diane say, Omema Embrano, Ayetuma. And you do be a court. Nese. One arm of government, which is the judiciary, now or independent of the executive. I'm a verdictor. What's it about no mama no man? Cars are whoop the amount, staff are whoop or the amount. To an extent, Ubeka say, papa, Martinami do time. When there are certain issues about discussion and people were saying, oh, I buy the person, but when we sat down to listen to a course, one gazanka, I thought that's why. None can be said, diabo. By the end of the day, what the education in Santi, Oko can one can yipe, Yabeka say, Ope so tiny. Iti or turn a new acquaintance, Ope staff I am firm, Ope a Sika was so to anamo, abaning to a abanye scammer OSPR. They are monies that were supposed to be given them. What they need, they've been given, even if they have not received all.
Only Domelo Nyadrin when he says, President ordered to see hono. Send a party for no a chabo a jabain for a human oyena. I'm from country of Munja Papa Nonya. You don't agree with him.
The president, a leader of government, yes, Yajidi. But me as Dr. Banasco, I have my independent mind on issues. Unless say it is against the laws of Ghana. Unless it is against the laws. What you say, we are bounded by rules and regulations. I'm glad boy and mobile. Me trouble saying I've not started here to insult them level. If I disagree with you, that doesn't mean I've insulted you.
No, he's not even talking about them level himself. He's talking
about
Jabe. So
anything I make say the OSP in sacrosanct. Onye to say otini baby nti de me pen na me oye adwuma based on the permit of the law. In the permit of the law no na eno na me nya adwen na me ka emra ni mu asem a de na obeka kire me say enti me trouble in what way me trouble there indirectly the back and get some na kire say me do atem and as me ka de ensem fata e wo but the adwuma na wo ye no e na me ka say aha me critique ni say say me tell ya fitch report ya go for me agro be completely but me as a researcher to completely rubbish somebody's research. No, I won't do it.
Mate,
but I will critique it. That means the Omo can be trouble.
Mate, Manuel.
SOP, Special Office of the Special Prosecutor, Nsema Domolevo, is not just an ordinary person in this country. Onim Domolevo Yaka is the former Auditor General of this country. He himself, Omodi in the office. And he himself, fighting right at the Superior Court of the land. I think that he won the case of.
Well, Winnie was after that.
So he understands the law. He has been anti-corruption fighter as Auditor General of the land. Into your customer, scrutinizing. And I think that is why Mudiaba say and can because at the largest platform, it's very important. But see, say who say every successful government in this country after independence has tried one way or other to fight corruption. That is the fact.
Yeah.
Wow. That is the fact. But it's the will of fighting corruption. No? And in your summer, about anyone bobo ayedi. Okay, come and criminal code. I'm in your say. And then, Udu court, only the code of the boa. Any criminal code, one of use the code. And one of use a modibo quadro. And then conformably is based on criminal code that you have criminal trial in this country. President, even that is after independence. You use the criminal code to make sure that our laws were working. And I think that those days, even the corruption was even lesser than today. Every government has had one way or other a corrupt scandal around its governance. Any day, in as much as who president will be appointing more than 200 or 300 people, there, one or two people that will give you headache. You use a criminal code up to now. Until say, President Kufuor should buy it. You will remember. I won't say yes. That time after President Rawlings, President Rawlings required any time. Also share to fight corruption. No? Or the BNI buy. You remember BN and then NIB. Bureau of National Investigation Bureau. And we all know the fear and panic of BNI for invite you. Sebra, the way it is. And also it's one of the
approach to it the way you sorry, I'm not cutting you short, but Mr. Anytime. When we say you grow in our democratic system. Into those days, you invite you be the kind of a first to invite you crown. To me, money pay me to me go. And
no common invitation. Yes, common invitation. We are using. We liberalize the system.
Liberalize the system.
The system.
So everybody using the laws.
I remember. Them I'm class 4, and I me class 4 teacher share me say when they were young, police phone number be chewa. They say master say me plus you come.
Yes.
Your one leg, my one leg. Njo Joshua, how do you go? And also all the car to be chomna or who say we ne car no mano. It was also kotokoro baku, dundu baku, nkosia mino. That means kotokoro means 7. Dundu means 8. Okay. Nkosia mino. So kotokoro baku, dundu baku, nkosia mino.
So 7,800.
That's the 7800. That's the car number. So what it means was that the illiteracy then in the system was not like today. That's why I've always called in as much as you recruiting people in the police service 6 months, none of them pass it out. You know, most of our problems that in convictions that come to this country is how by investigation system. A detective, the role of a detective is to detect crime. It's not to impose crime on you.
Yeah.
That is why you acquire a detective. And to me say, I have always called on government. Maybe one day, if I have opportunity to become a president, that is what I will see to do. That in as much as you recruit you from SS to the police service, let's make the Ghana Police Service a university of investigation and policing.
I agree with you.
What a and the Senate Square, I will be what University of Ghana. No, go to University of Policing and investigation.
Okay.
So because what training required, they give you stipends. So instead of you doing 6 months and come out, why don't you do 4 years and come out you hold a degree in this instead of renewable VA service 15 years.
But how does that help in fighting
corruption? It will help in fighting corruption. It is a fact that many DSP and many ASP and many COP, a DCOP is dealing in a crime issue and investigation. It's different from a constable.
Okay.
It's a fact. Police senior officer only shower counsel. Even from an inspector going. Who kasana only be kasana. It's different from a lance corporal.
Quite on the back when you
yes, I mean you
will not arrest you, but you
conscience will arrive you. Look, the first time I entered university to do my master, my communication master told me something. He said, conscience supersedes morality.
Exactly.
Conscience, it supersedes morality. Police station, listen. But the moment you have an expert who understands the forensic system of detective of the criminal, you will speak the truth.
Okay.
You understand? So instead of bringing them back and 6 months, now Omaba, another 15 years, then after that, or per ways and means to now go and become an ASPO, corruption comes in, or per the favor from a politician or any other person. So these are the things we should build our institution in the anti-corruption fight. And then we look at the special prosecutor. Do you know the special prosecutor office is a joint security forces? And now there's military, there's police, there's BNI, there's how do you call customs. There's all the security form of security that are the office of special prosecutor. So President Mills, President Rollins brought BNI, and the fear and panic was there. I mean, you go crime was BNI for a while. President Kufuor came, he set up SFO.
Serious fraud office.
Serious fraud office. And even the serious fraud office, those days, the crime rate, even as much as we know, because there was this drug and other things, but you could see that it was a little bit tamed down. President Mills, what the also be changing economic crime office to make sure we fight crime in economic aspect of this country.
Okay.
What happened when we discovered oil? We brought in PIAC. It's one, yes.
It's an accountability.
Yeah, it's also one of the institutions that and I am making this point because all these institutions were respected, run with respect, run with no political interference, run with independency.
Okay, so what is your
President Kufuor, President Joma, Nnawotwe came and said he was going to bring an office of a special prosecutor. Everybody backed it. In fact, when Amidu came, it was like a celebration. Because we saw somebody from the other side, who was an attorney general in the other side, coming in as a special prosecutor. But when he was leaving, the remark he left there has dented the credibility of the office of special prosecution. The Lomi Soul of corruption, you heard it. The mother shepherd of corruption. And then the entrepreneurship of corruption. And the presidency, a former attorney general, and a former running mate to a rule in the largest opposition party, of course. Today, we saw Domelevo. Did you listen to Domelevo very well? It's a point we must look at. Or say, Kesi Ajabi is the only gentleman who is willing to fight corruption under this government. And the point of the matter, the political class is disturbing him. And the president must call a shock to this political class. So BBC, as the president says, look, you young man, keep quiet. Let the young man do his work.
But Doc said because they differ, will be our nationality.
No, be fair to me. What I'm saying is that, and as the president, ain't me can say keep quiet or whatever. But at the end of the day, anybody in Membrano, say I was saying use the right channels and approach. What did catch
so what was your point? Your point was that because exactly. That's the point.
The right way it starts when somebody accuses you.
Yes.
You have the right to also go and defend.
Exactly. And I will defend by going to court.
That is the law.
Other means.
That's what I'm saying, that the other means that you take to court must also have a proper detective of the crime before it gets in there. There are so many cases the judge will have to throw the case out.
Exactly.
The evidence, man, all day, but the game is evidence.
Yes.
Wow. And so the point is that Utie near Domelevo Kaya say, the man a free hand to operate. And Otie or no Kisia Jada, some of and you want to Ghana for what's it? What's it? Anquano, my uncle now.
Yeah.
My enemy to me be a Namimbre Meko.
Okay.
I just say, Nippon and Casana, Mommy na for 200 near Martiami do Kayano. And one of kind. So I see, there's something I say, Camino Casa, Mosomo Kahumbi. I am a media practitioner. I am a trained journalist, even a professional journalist. But I think we are also a problem.
Why? What
into this? See, and then, minute in conform, a million people are watching us. Banasco fear. Not Okoya idea, or Mazo said Banasco Kurawayebi. And only because oh, you're going to TV, so the influence of the media, the society, the public is one of the media imperialism.
So what
we're praying is that I saw one of your colleague journalists on one of your sister stations terming the special prosecutor on a Good Evening Ghana sometimes ago.
Please.
No, is it no? The point is that
no, you are only citing one out of
one in the media platform.
Don't worry, but it's fine.
No, in the media platform.
He's
so
not here.
If
to
the host, no, I'm saying that
only have to respond.
So that's why they also didn't mention anybody's name.
But you mentioned the show. Everybody knows.
Oh, if I mentioned the show, I didn't mention this. I said I saw terming that a special prosecutor.
It's fine. Let's move on.
No,
what Nnawotwe Yi say? Even though you're the special prosecutor, Abano, our CPI score, which really should have told us special prosecutor a boy to fight corruption and a buying fight corruption. It's not really telling the picture. We've stagnated for how many years? For 1, 2, 3, 4.
What was that? You see, CPI. What's the formula? Corruption perception.
Yeah, exactly.
And the key word here is what? Perception.
But
how do we inform perception? Perception is informed by what we hear and supposedly understand. Why you first why you know? The more I can say, you see, man, say,
but you can't also take discount, say it really plays a role in how you determine whether the estate is fighting corruption or not. Right?
For instance, critical
issue. I'm announcing my phone lines, then I can come to you. Bet me after 030-221-1701, 030-221-1701, and 030-221-1702. Two bet me on 3 and 4. Yeah, doc.
The mechanic say, to say a tea, I discuss it. Obedi for me decision. But do I understand?
Yeah.
The person's perception will be hyped up based on say, oh, you say omoma onipa no kwa nyɛ n'adwuma.
Yeah.
As to say the onye n'adwuma no, oba betumi aka kyerɛ say, papa mpɛ sɛ me yesei. The mere fact say waka kyerɛ ne say me ma nko no nko ade, ne papa tim wode. Anamwa.
Yeah.
But if you can now guide no so that the person will do the right thing. Okay?
But at least it's a measure.
But it becomes a perception to the child.
Which one? Say obaka say papa ni tim wode.
Yes. I am the perception. But
the child will grow up to know.
Exactly.
That is why we grow up to see but this perception becomes a reality at a point.
Or this perception is wrong at a point.
Oh, anyway, Mama want something for Benjamin. Hi, Ben. Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Fan.
Ben, Pacho Michawo, Mamintio, na Yanquering.
Yeah, me can say. And this is one or more air or more. And you to find almost entity for Bamyaba, you I economy almost or more and
anyway, me Pacho, fra a men tell who are TV no so tell who are phone na reduce the volume on your TV and until ye. Kiss me, good morning.
Good morning, Papa Joe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe I will call.
Papa Joe, Yamia Dum, Ubajuma, Yamia, should be called by him and another and was a mechanical money piafo or my injury Ubajuma. Papa Joe, Nana, the opposition, or can't tell me on your colors, my Papa Party, am I to Catase, Proyase, or by Yanshe, and another Buquado, Nabraso, corrupt a giant shirt and you talk every year. Now I am one, so my proof. No more say and for every intimate Gana for Nasa, or Montoma John Mahamani and this number Wagana for a kiss me in the background.
Okay. Nana Wakua Humanusuna, good morning. Yamia de Acheme, but I mean,
what I say, but if I'm not more boy, my main income president, you are Dr. Mahmoud Baumi and the other one of us was smooth. Opening next flag for you can't apaya on your corruptor. Don't mean say MPP, NDC are buying what NDC voting because NDC are buying and now because I tell you, only create loot and share. Because I buy back on your floor. Almost check judgment that at the moment saying almost check government cut your almost from Palarum and this buying. You get for Kotoba and most education no buying. Because education by and upon your for education. Now nobody commerce boya agenda 111 how to sort Toronto place and Osita Mantia, and almost 24 hours. I'm on Corano, MPP, Abaya, and Mahoma Mabuna.
Okay, yo. Mate, and no any agenda one. I think you was talking about one this one factory rather. Mustafa, good morning, Mamin Tewe.
Mpacha from Mustafa, because I'm free boko.
Mustafa Mpacha, I am into on what TV so. Ofra to your own phone so. Mustafa, okay. Brako, good morning.
Good morning.
Mamin Tewe.
I pray that I can see the cement here. My mom near Mamoya, my cement, and my yana to obey the Maja. Now, my Montuos, high for the Moyan, because the Mobile.
Okay. I'm not sure the other buyer. No. James Jimmy on Facebook will say, please, can you correct the NDC man here why he didn't call former President John Mahama but always call President Mahama? Well, semantics, I think. Anyway, Alexa Zuma said, Master, explain the 24-hour economy and stop ranting. Please, the NDC man didn't explain the 24-hour economy, so tell him to do so. I'm in the Volta region of Ho. Yankwa Homani swear, na yemfa before fro, so ewo Ho. Good morning. Boa bibi abako dia mami ntewe. Yo mami ntewe. Me ho ye ba over.
The person we say this before say this is the fool. MVP ni bai. Ana ma tina tu corruption. Omo na say omo baba ko. You say ye big general, but so mama na great Ghana ko tina mi chire. Asa no ko ha Ghana for na say what ma say. I didn't know you need to pass. So, yeah, baby. Corruption, that one year, 2008, maybe to lose here. That one I guilty, and be communicated from Pomacho. Most one woman, you number way.
Okay. Young Francis, where? Francis, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Yo, yeah, Jodo.
South Africa, sir. I am there. Ghana, before Ghana bet me, I can say a becoso, the ye pano. To say a ma, Namisro, and in the Quadi, Eddie and Inkai. Mean, this a bind biaba. I will become a binding dear, Nimres on Yama, Akofomno, we bar, Sanyamano, a better Akofom you. Send your air corner, a we are seeing an echo. Woman, no quarantine, and you may share solution, a bet me up on my phone because me and Mika say me, you'll be a maddy them. Na yes, straight ya film no. Aya na anoye di. Inti ya TV wona ya shania politicians omudi o mine no ya. I said dia omudi ya ho agro.
Okay. All right. Yo. Medase Mohammed Asari on Facebook said no wonder the current state of the economy have people like Banasco and co-defending this shameful MPP government. God is watching us all. I kiss me sake of Mensa wishes Anastasia. I can say okay, I think it's a better bet. You the best here, Medase, but 30 seconds. Yeah.
30 seconds. I as a Ghanaian.
Okay. I think